Well, hello. Here we go. I don't know if you have power or not. I'm so sorry if you still don't, or for whatever reason you're watching this. So, here's our daily agenda for Thursday and Friday. Just a quick reminder that not all assignments, like your notes, are submitted. They're used for learning checks and other things that we'll be using them for. There are announcements, I'm sure, on every teacher's page. I'm making sure not only is it at the top of my homepage and in the announcements, but I put it here as well. In observance of Dr. Martin Luther King Day, there will be no classes on Monday, January 18th. But on Tuesday, January 19th, please make sure you are attending your second, third, and fourth period classes. So for my sixth and seventh period classes, we don't get to see each other until Friday. I know it's very, very sad, and I will miss you greatly. For homework, and it's on the next slide too, see if you have string or twine, rope, thread, yarn, or maybe a slinky. We're going to try to have you do some stuff where you can actually see waves in motion. So please make sure you have something like this. You don't have to go out and buy anything. Sometimes a strip of paper will work, but you definitely need to bring that to our next class, which will be on Thursday and Friday of next week, so the 21st and the 22nd. For materials for today, obviously our Canvas module. In the, the Zoom, in the waiting room, it says to have your static electricity notes because I prompted a question in the chat, just asking, see what your understanding is. Like, tell me why the pepper stuck to the balloon, or whatever plastic object you used. So I wasn't looking for you to copy and paste from your notes. I'm looking at your understanding. And then we have a lot of notes today. Here are our objectives. You'll see you're completing today's, that says lesson 3. That should say lesson 5. That's a typo. Listen and watch the EMS song. Very important for you to listen to that song. Seriously. You're going to explore a FET sim called the John Travoltage. It's funny, but it does show you like static building up and then discharging. So it's not a big learning opportunity, but it does show you something cool, and it cracks me up, and I totally forgot about it, so I wanted to make sure you saw it. And then after the notes and after the voltage FET sim, you're going to Google search everyday items that use electromagnetic radiation. And I want to show you all that. So not a lot on the agenda, but again, there is quite a bit. Let's go ahead and open those. Where's my PowerPoint? So I just want to show you what my computer's been a little slow today. Probably need to restart. So, as a reminder, when you don't go into slideshow mode, if there are things hyperlinked, you won't be able to click here and access it. So you have to go into slideshow mode. So I know I won't be offended if you don't want to listen to me. That's fine. But so I'm just going to click through the slides so you can see them. So everything in yellow. Yeah, there's a lot right there. I find if students don't write some of this out or type some of this out, they miss some key things. So that's why there's so much kind of at the beginning, and then you'll see it kind of taper off. You'll notice in your notes, there's yellow, sometimes there's red. That just came from the answer key. You are welcome to remove the highlighting. So if you don't like the highlighting, just get rid of it. It's not a big deal. Once you save this as your own, you can totally get rid of all of that. but I left you plenty of spacing, and I provided all of the images you see in the PowerPoint, because I think it's really important not only for you to have it written out, but so that you can see it in your notes. And then you don't have to kind of go back like, oh, let me look at the PowerPoint and see what that was. Normally we would draw a lot of this stuff in class in a notebook. And if you want to do so, you are always welcome to do that. And we have parts of the waves, how waves work. We'll talk about wave propagation next week, frequency. So there's a lot of terms here in the notes, and just identifying waves, parts of the waves, the types of waves. So a lot of frequency and pitch. Here's the greatest song ever. It looks like you can click it here. You definitely want to play this. Trust me. Spotifino will never leave you astray. Oh, I guess you can't, see? That's why you have to be impressed. Oh, there it is. It only took 15 tries. Oh, there it is. Learn it, live it, love it. Again, this was made by some physics teachers. So, but it's really, really good. And just to learn the order. And that was their purpose behind it, was to help their students learn the order of the electromagnetic spectrum. All right, where did I leave off? Then followed by some more information about the electromagnetic spectrum. This chart is also in your notes. Go talk about how the particles, this picture you often have. So normally we do a flippy as opposed to all these notes. We have a little bit of notes, and usually I gave you most of it. And then of course we had vocabulary, but we used to make a flippy so that you were drawing things like this. But in this environment and the fact that we're missing 2 class periods, I didn't want to spend a whole class making the flippy. I want you to actually learn a little bit more about waves by being able to do some things. So I gave you this so you can see the order, radio waves, microwaves, infrared. Okay, I won't sing the whole song to you. And then before you're done, again, please make sure you're reading everything. Are your notes saved in OneDrive? You have a Google search to do. That's coming up in a minute. You have a PhET sim to enjoy next, and then you have your checklists. So this is what I was talking about. If you just click on this, it's not going to take you directly to it. So I guess you have to be in presentation mode for that to happen. So I'm just going to go into slideshow, just from current slide. And then you should be able to click on that, and it'll bring you right to the PhET sim. And you move his foot to build up electrical charge, and then you move it up. That's all I'm going to say. You do the rest. I'm not going to show you any more of that. I want you to be surprised. Yeah, and I think that was the last slide. Yeah, that was the last slide. Oh, in your notes, I told you I was having some slow-mo was happening today. So notes, lots of images for you. I did separate electromagnetic spectrum from waves just to give it a break. And if you want to make any of these images smaller, you can. I think they're a good size, but you never know. So here it says list 2 to 5 of each electromagnetic radiation we use every day. So you're going to need to do a Google search. You're going to have to open a tab and Google radio wave, radio, what do we, well, however you Google search, I don't want to tell you, but radio waves. What are some things that we might have at home, or it might not be things we have at home. You may not have anything at home that uses radio waves, but you do. but yeah, so you want to look at what items use radio waves, and you want to type out anywhere from 2 to 5 of them. Same thing with microwave. Beside your microwave computer, that's an obvious one, but or microwave oven, not computer. What else do we have? Again, that we use as humans that have microwave radiation. Same thing for infrared. I already put the TV remote. That is one of them. Visible light, that's kind of, well, it's not necessarily obvious. UV. So when we start to get, UV, we actually do have things. X-rays, probably not anything in our homes. And gamma ray, definitely not in your homes. And be mindful when you do search things that you're not looking at something that's like a conspiracy, like, oh, they're using gamma radiation to radiate our food. So just kind of double check that, make sure it's legit. And then after that, I just kind of put that here as well. And then here's your checklist. Boom, boom, boom. That voltage FETSIM is the greatest. We will be what you Google searched. We will be opening class with that. So make sure you have that ready for Thursday and Friday. As always, if you have questions, please reach out. I hope you have a wonderful day and a great weekend. And I hope you all have power